Hey, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that you need to make more money. You're thinking that you need to find a secondary income. You're thinking that you need a way, a plan B, a just in case, a fallback plan. I know exactly what you're thinking because I was thinking those same exact things as you are. But you're also thinking, but I'm already really busy. I have a full-time job, or I'm a full-time mom, and I've got a lot of stuff going on. I can barely even remember to wash my underwear, let alone run a business, start a business. Where do you even start? And so that's exactly what I want to address for you today is, do I have time to start a business? How can I figure out if this is a good opportunity for me? How can I figure out before I take that leap of faith if I'm able to devote the time necessary to get a business off the ground? Now, you may have realized or you may have noticed that it seems like everybody's got a little side hustle going on these days. Everybody's got something that they're doing on the side. And that's a clue to the fact that what we've been doing traditionally it's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. We need more. We have to pay a lot more to live. Cost of living. I don't know where you live, but I live in California, and the cost of living here is crazy. And just the simple fact that most families, both parents have to work now. If you're blessed to have both parents still together, they both have to work in order to support the family and the household. So how do people get ahead? How do you get ahead? How do you get out of debt? How? If you're anything like me, I had these huge questions because 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I had a great job and I made good money, but my debt far exceeded what I was making. And I just couldn't figure out how to get ahead. If you feel like that, or if you've ever felt like that, then maybe you're thinking, well, I just need to work harder. I just need to work more. I just need to sleep less. I need to learn how to multitask better. I just need to get more organized. If my schedule was more organized, then I would be able to get ahead. I'd be able to get another job. I remember going through college. So I put myself mostly through college. I did myself, working 3 part-time jobs. And I remember even I entertained the idea of going to one of those like 24-hour diners and getting a graveyard shift just so I could get another job, so I could get farther ahead, because college is expensive, and 3 part-time jobs and going to school full-time, that was a crazy schedule. And the fact that I was going to give up my 5 hours of sleep every night in order to work more was just crazy. I wish I had an opportunity like I have now. I wish I knew about something like an online business back then, because I would have been able to work a lot smarter and less hours and make more of an income. So I'm here to tell you today that yes, home businesses do work, but only if you do them right. Most people fail at home-based businesses because of 2 things: lack of belief in themselves and lack of scheduling, and just not knowing how to find the time. So today I want to cover for you a couple tips before you even take that leap of faith, before you even jump and decide to sign on the bottom line and join a home-based business. I want to help you figure out, is this something that's feasible for you? So here we go. Let's talk about it. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to get out a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to figure out, and again, this is an exercise just for you, but just figure out, how much time do you spend every day watching television? Figure out how much time you spend each day driving. Figure out how much time you spend each day just kind of surfing social media or going through your news feed. Figure out, and you don't have to put this in actual time frames, but think about all the things that you do now that are just kind of part of your normal schedule, or just watching the news in the morning, right? Think about all of those little things that may be taking some time away from you, where you can potentially find power pockets of time to use to create your future. Or if you have a full-time job How many breaks do you get? And if you say to yourself, well, I don't take breaks. Well, legally you're supposed to. So if you want to start investing in your future now, then I'm going to say, take those breaks, right? Smokers get smoke breaks. Why can't you get a business building break? So maybe you're not taking a break, but use that break to do something that's going to move you forward. So those are all the things that I want you to start to think about right now. Drive time. How much time do you spend on the phone? How much time do you spend just scrolling through social media? How much time do you spend on television? The news, just reading newspapers or magazines or something that's just fun. All the little fun things you do. Or do you go out with your girlfriends every Friday night? How much time does that take? If you start to list all these things out, then you are going to already be 50%, probably even more than that, but I would say at least 50% more successful than somebody who has not taken the time to do this. Because most people say, yes, I want to earn extra money. Sure, I'll sign up to be a distributor for XYZ company. That's the way to do it. And they don't actually spend the time to figure out, well, how am I going to put this into my life? And it's not about fitting it into your schedule. It's about being smart and figuring out exactly when you are going to be able to contribute to that business. Now, I'm referring to an online business here because a physical stand-up location is completely different. Obviously, if you're doing something like that, then yes, I mean, maybe in this preparation, you need to do an exercise like this. But for the most part, if you're opening a physical business, then you've got to be there well over full time. So I'm talking about those of us who are already super busy, who know we need to make an extra income, but we want to do it in a way that is kind of like on our own schedule, right? So if it's 2 p.m. and my kids are sleeping, which is exactly what's happening right now, then I have time right now. I have time to work on my business. Or if it's 8 p.m. and everybody else is kind of getting ready for bed, I've got time to jump in and work on my business. Or when I was first building my home business, what I did was I used lunchtime and I used my drive time to build my business. So that's step number 1. And you're going to be so far ahead of the game if you figure that out now. Figure out where can I possibly fit in increments of time. And I'm talking about where you have 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or even 60 minutes. Because of the success that I had with my home business, I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom and be here for my kids. And the beautiful thing about that is I got to figure out all over again. So before I had to figure out, how do I have time to do this when I work 60 to 70 hours a week? And I got to figure that out. And now I got to figure out, well, how can I work from home and be a stay-at-home mom? So if you are a mom out there, and this is something that you're considering, then I highly recommend sleep training. I really liked the book called Good Night, Sleep Tight. It was about she calls herself the sleep lady. And so I had some really good success with the suggestions in that book for sleep training. So stay-at-home moms, I'm talking to you right now. So that's the blessing that I get to have now, is like figuring out, well, how can I do this? I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, I can't just like work at my computer and let my baby cry right next to me. But, you got to get creative. You can find ways, little pockets of time. So while the baby's eating or nursing, a lot of times I would work, especially home-based businesses. We have that privilege of being able to work on our phones. So I would literally, I was like, I'm a master at texting with, and texting and working with just one thumb. But there's little things that you can do like that, and that will help you figure out, do you have time to start something like this? If you know you have a need, then the next step is not to jump, but to figure out, do you have time? And then the second thing I'm going to recommend is to figure out what you can give up for the next 2 years, right? What can you sacrifice for the next 2 years in order to get ahead? So when I train my team, when I bring them on, one of the things I say is, how many hours per week are you willing to find? Are you willing to carve out of your schedule? And it's not like this time is just going to pop out of nowhere, people. It's like you have to figure out, make a conscious decision of, okay, instead of watching 2 hours of television a night, I'm going to watch 1 hour. Because personally, I can't cut everything fun out of my life. And I don't want you to do that either. But figure out, like, what is going to be your business building time. That's what you need to figure out. So, for me, that was, okay, I'm not going to listen to music when I am on the exercise bike or on the treadmill, or in the car. I'm not going to listen to music. I'm going to be either making phone calls, or I'm going to be doing personal development, or I'm going to be listening to audios, to business training to help me move my business forward. Because all that stuff counts as work time. All right. So I want you to think of it that way. What can you sacrifice for the next 2 years in order to build a $50,000 per year business? Now, most of America does not make $50,000 a year. When I started this, working this business, I had a really great job. I actually made more than that, but an extra $50,000 a year, hello, that was something that really appealed to me. So think about that. What can I sacrifice for now in order to do this? One thing that I did sacrifice was, I love to sing. I do. I love to sing. I love to perform. It's my dream one day. Have you seen the movies Pitch Perfect? That is like my dream right there. Like, I love vocal a cappella music. I am such a nerd. I'm such a nerd, but that's okay. Anyways, but you know what? I had to kind of table that. I had to shelf my performing. And it's not forever. It's just a little bit of time because I wanted to build this empire. I had this dream. I wanted to get out of debt. I wanted to build this empire. So that's tip number 2, was to figure out, okay, what can I put on hold just for a while? Maybe instead of going on girls' night every single Friday, you go once a month. Nobody's going to die. And you'll be able to contribute that 4 hours every single week, or whatever you spend doing that activity, you'll be able to contribute that to your future. So it all comes back to, what do you want and when do you want to get it? And what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get there? So those are my 2 tips that I have for you today. If you're trying to figure out, do I even have time to start a business like this? Like, I know what you're thinking, because I thought those same things too. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this, but I figured out a way to do it. And it was to find those little power pockets of time, literally working in 15, 30 and 60-minute increments, and just putting my best foot forward. And then of course, identifying, okay, what can I give up just for a short period of time in order to work toward that big goal that I have? So whatever your goal may be, it might be anything. And honestly, in the beginning, I did not think that it was possible to make a full-time income working 10 hours a week. And by the way, if you're doing network marketing, it should not be a full-time gig. That's my recommendation for you. Of course, the more hours you're able to put in, the faster you're going to reach that success. But I have built my business on average this entire 9 years that I've been in this. I have built this doing 10 hours per week. I still work about 10 hours per week. So it's fantastic. When I was first building it, I found 10 hours per week, and I was already working 60 to 70 hours at my full-time job, and then my 2 other part-time jobs. I swear, I think the most jobs I've ever had at once was 4, though. I'm pretty sure. I want you to be successful. I am the type of person, I want to share my answers. I made so many mistakes in the beginning, you guys, that I want to save you time no matter what network marketing company you are considering looking into. I just want to help you out, because I believe in the future of network marketing and online businesses. So much of our life is going to online. So it makes sense that we work online too. So tip number 1, find those little power pockets of time. Identify when you can not insert this in addition to, but what can you take away in order to put your work time in, even if it's just 30 minutes a day to start. I'm going to make that recommendation for you. If you're trying to work 2 hours a week, that's going to be super hard. But if you're able to find 30 minutes per day, then you will be able to start that momentum. If you're able to find 1 hour per day, then you're going to get there twice as fast. If you're able to find 2 hours per day, you're going to get there, of course, 4 times faster than the person who's only able to do 30 minutes, but just do. That's the key. And then, of course, my tip number 2 was to, make a conscious decision to put some things in your life on hold that aren't absolutely imperative that you do. So if it doesn't negatively affect you as a person, like your sanity, your physical health, your well-being, your family, if it doesn't negatively impact the most important things to you, like who you are at your core, if it doesn't negatively impact those things, then think, can this be something that I put on hold in order to make a positive change for myself and my family and my future and the future of my family? And that is my advice for you. If you want some more information about how to start a home-based business, even though you are so stinking busy, then please go to startmysidebiz.com. Thanks a lot. My name is Holly Hireman, and thank you for joining. Please feel free to share if you like. Have a great day.